Hello, Sarah. It's looking like it might be a slow day today, but I am on a little bit early, so we'll see. I'm doing pretty good today. I took a rest day yesterday, and that was something I desperately needed, so I feel a lot better today. Yes. I drank coffee in bed and read webtoons and watched anime all day. And did nothing else. Yeah, it was really nice. Most of the time when I need to take a day like that where I don't do anything, it's because I've pushed myself too far and I'm pretty much dead for the day. And this week was definitely a lot, but it was the first time I think in a long time that I took a rest day, even though I was not to that point of being like completely unable to move or do anything. So it was nice to like make it a choice rather than an I don't have a choice kind of thing. But yeah, this week has definitely been really a lot. A lot going on in the world, a lot going on here personally, just in general. So it was really nice to just take a break. And thankfully, the row that we are going to be working on today is the easiest row. It doesn't go super fast because it's also the bottom row, so it's the longest row, but it is not a whole lot of thinking required. Yeah, I'm trying to be better about that, of being conscious of making a choice to rest when I know my body needs it before it is no longer a choice, which is not something I've been great about in the past, but I'm learning, I'm getting better. And it really makes a difference in the long term to take those moments to give myself a break, and then I recover a lot faster. So it's one of those things. Yes, you can wind both shuttles continuous thread method. I just happen to still have a fairly full bobbin from finishing my third row, so I'm gonna start with two separate cut pieces. But if you wanted to, if you're winding fresh shuttles, you can wind continuous thread method, and we're just doing the same color that you used for row 3. So for this, I will be using the linen color. And honestly, if you really wanted to, you could leave this pattern like this with just the row 3, and it just makes like a little bit of a smaller profile on the collar, and I think it's still really cute. But we'll definitely go ahead and finish this one up with the row 4. Magpie, hello! Raid! My first raid! Welcome! I saw you went live a little bit ago, and I honestly was trying to finish up my row 3 still from last week, because I had not done that, and then get a few other things around the house done. before time to hop on here. And I'll give it a little while. Usually we end up actually starting somewhere between the 20 and 30 minute mark, so we can hang out and chat for a bit. How was everyone else's week? Hey, just the two of y'all. I am so happy to see you here, though. It's my first time being rated, so first all around. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. I resisted blocking this before starting the stream because I think it would be beneficial to show y'all how like bubbled and out of shape it really looks before blocking, because I know I've seen a lot of people talk about how theirs is looking kind of bubbly and weird, and they're afraid that they did something wrong, and it's like, no, that's just what it does before it's blocked. Good morning. Not tatting today. Oh, because of paint. What paint did you get? Hi, Goblin. Welcome. Are they fun paints, Magpie, or just like regular paints that you're just excited to play with? I spent all day yesterday reading webtoons for my self-care, and I am now absolutely convinced that even though I cannot draw worth a shit, I could absolutely write a webtoons. Like, ADHD brain. Thank you very much for that. No, thank you. Yes, the pre-blocking view. Yeah. And, like, I've shown this in some videos a little bit before, but I think it's still, like, I don't think people realize, like, even my pieces don't look perfectly flat as I'm working on them. See, well, that's the thing, is, like, webtoons, like, you can have, like, a really loose, like, there's so many different art styles on there, and it's like, if the story's good, then it doesn't matter quite so much. And I'm like, I have lots of stories. Ah, yes, to finish your Jubilee. I'm excited for you. I think it's turning out really nice. I saw your progress picture in the group. I'm sorry, y'all. I know that I haven't been as active in the group with, like, commenting on everybody's posts and stuff like I usually do, but I just have not had the spoons this week. It has been a wild week. Prepping for some quilts. Fun. Spicy, I'll have to look that one up. That sounds really good. I read a lot of, like, queer romance webtoons, because, like, that's my, like, I don't want a lot of drama. Like, I don't mind a little bit of drama, but, like, I don't know. I guess my definition of, like, low drama is a little bit different, too, because, like, I don't mind things that are graphic in terms of, like, blood and gore and horror or stuff, but I'm like, I don't want a lot of trauma. Like, give me, like, the fluffy romance side of things. So, like, that's a lot of what I read. Oh, Magpie, these ideas that I have for stories have been in my brain for a good 10 to 15 years. And they just continue, like, stewing in there. So I don't think I'm gonna lose anything, but yeah. Oh, Goblin, that one sounds fun. I'll have to look that up. Questionable content. Darastrix, honestly, I switch it up a lot. I will read BL, GL, and Het, anything. I'll read harem. Like, it really is more important to me that, like, the writing style is good and that there's not, like, problematic stuff or, like, stuff that's triggering for me personally in it. But, like, I read a wide variety, as far as that goes, but I'm like, I just like quality storytelling. Yeah, we gotta love some fluffy content. Hi, Emriel. Oh yeah, Eyes on Me is on my list. Yeah. And I also have Tapas, yeah. I like Tapas because I can spend the ink. When I have, like, extra spending money, I'll buy ink on Tapas, so that way I can, like, tip authors that I like. Like, sometimes I'll even go to Tapas and, like, buy the episodes with ink that I've already read on Webtoons. Like, I go back and forth between the two. Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is, like, the violence doesn't bother me as long as it's, like, not certain kinds of violence. Like, if it involves, like, animals or kids, then I'm like, or if it's, like, really graphic towards animals or kids, like, I'm out. Yeah, I'll look that one up, Goblin. That one sounds like something that would be my jam. Yeah, I really like the, like, fluffy romance ones that have, like, really well-developed, like, healthy relationship moments. Like, that to me is, like, it's just very calming and, like, I don't know. It just makes me happy. Also, if you're into BL stuff, Sasaki and what is it? Sasaki and Miyano on Crunchyroll or Funimation. Fantastic BL anime. It is so cute. BL means boy love. It's gay. Yeah, BL is boy love and GL is girl love. So, like, gay and lesbian, respectively. Yeah, Sasaki and Miyano, it only has, like, 7 episodes out, but it is so cute. And it's, like, it's super fluffy. Like, there is, like, no trauma, no drama. It's, like, just pure fluff. And it's adorable. I can't get over it. Like, I like, binge watched it, like, in 2 days. All 7 episodes that are out. Yeah. Just, like, the happy, bubbly stuff. I also caught up on, what's the one with the werewolf? That one's on Tapas. It's the werewolf and the, like, skinny kid that's obsessed with ghost hunting. It's really good. And the panels are drawn like actual, like, comic book style panels. Like, it's an actual page and not, like, the long form, if you know what I mean. Oh, Honey and Venom is on my list, too, to start. I haven't started that one yet. Oh, no! The gummy bears are out of reach! But I do see that you found the gummy bear emotes. Yeah. You gotta have the gummy bears. I think I kind of looked at Down to Earth. I don't know if I added that one to my list or not. I don't know. I have so many on there. I'm gonna have to, like, go through. I just, see, yesterday I caught up on Midnight Poppyland, and then I read, I got caught up on Phase. I got caught up on Phase Me. I started Lady in Red, which was a little bit heavier on the trauma, so I didn't finish that one completely yet. And I know a lot of these are still running, so they're, like, not finished anyways. I saw Third Shift Society has more episodes up, and I'm kind of waiting, because I don't think they're quite through, the whole of, like, the next season, and I might wait until the whole season is up, because I do not do waiting for episodes very well. Satan and Me. Well, yeah. I'll have to look that one up, too. Lovebot? I haven't watched that one. Or read that one yet, no. What was the other one? There was another one that I read yesterday, and I can't remember what it was called. I'd have to look at my queue and my subscribed list in my Webtoons and my Tapas, and they're both on my phone, so like that doesn't work. Okay, Darastrix, that sounds hilarious. I'm gonna have to look at that. Have you seen the anime, if you like the, like, Devil Satan spinoff stuff, have you seen the anime The Devil is a Part-Timer? Because that one is fantastic. It is hilarious. Magpie, what's your funny story about webcomics? Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that one. Yeah, Devil is a Part-Timer. So good. I wonder if they have season 2 up yet. I don't know if they do. I haven't looked in a while. I've also been watching Shadow House anime, and that is adorable and, like, sort of creepy cute, but, like, it hasn't been a whole lot of, like, the creepy factor so far. Like, I get the sense that there's something else going on behind the scenes, but, like, so far it's just really cute and fluffy. Yeah, Shadow House is really good. I got caught up on Demon Hunter, finally. What else did I get? I just binged, like, all the anime and Webtoons things yesterday. Like... Oh, it was The God of Pain's Groom. I started that one on Tapas. That one's really good. Oh, I didn't realize Shadow House was also done by Promise Neverland. That's interesting. Yeah, Promise Neverland is really, really good, but, like, major trigger warning. just all the trigger warnings going into it. Like, just everything. Like, it's really good, but also trauma. Like, wow. It's good to know that Shadow House just stays kinda creepy and doesn't ever get, like, real... Doesn't have that, shock factor that Promised Neverland has. I'm really bad at keeping track of, like, when next seasons are supposed to release on things, too. Okay, is there anybody that I'm waiting on who needs to, like, get ready, get shuttles loaded, that sort of thing still before we get started? I know a lot of y'all have said that you're just hanging out today, which is always fine. Magpie. Yeah, I could could see how those specifically would raise some eyebrows. Yeah. Shuttles are loaded. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started then. Alright, so row 4. Row 4. Get my stuff arranged. I feel like my table is too small today. So row 4, we are going to start with this little teeny tiny ring A. And it is going to join to the 2 picots that are right here. So that the first ring from row 3 that would have had 7 spots. So this would be ring G. So this is ring G from row 3. And we're gonna make our joins right here to these 2 picots. So it's gonna, all of these ring A's are gonna be joined to 2 picots at the base of each of the rings from row 3. And I am going to use my handy little seamless start trick to get started here. So what I did to start seamlessly is I took the end of my thread from my shuttle 2 and I made an upside down or unflipped double knot or double stitch basically around the thread of shuttle 1, and then the shuttle 1 thread gets wrapped around my hand while the shuttle 2 thread is just being pulled through as the core thread. So now I can hold my 2 threads together and it basically just lets me tat over that tail without having to like sew it in later or pull it through each stitch individually, because I've also seen people do that. Like it just makes it go right where it needs to be. And I am going to include this technique in that video that I'm working on hiding ends. It's going to go up on my YouTube eventually really soon. As soon as I finish editing it. So I can kind of like, and then before I close the ring, I just untie it, and then I can kind of adjust everything before I close it. Yeah, it's so simple and it's so easy. It's a little fiddly the first couple times you do it, but honestly, after that, it's probably the easiest way I found to tat over ends. And then I'm just gonna do a little, that little half knot, that shoelace trick to switch the tail of my shuttle 1 with my shuttle 2 thread, and then also just kind of anchor that a little bit better. And then I can hold my shuttle 1 tail in with my shuttle 1 core thread. Yes, yes. Absolutely works for rings and chains, yeah. And honestly, on chains, like, I still do it sometimes on my chains. I anchor that, but on chains, it's even easier, because if your tail's long enough, you can just wrap it around your pinky with your other thread. Question. What is your question, Sarah? Yeah, you're right. I joined it in the wrong spot. It does. It joins at ring E, not ring G. My brain today. I'm just gonna leave mine where it is. But yeah. The first big ring on the second row. You are correct. Thank you for pointing that out. I should have labeled those in the diagram. I'm sorry. So mine's just gonna be a little bit off, but that's fine. Design variations, not mistakes. Oh yeah, I make mistakes all the time. Y'all know I had so many, like, writing mistakes in the written part of this pattern that y'all caught for me. Because, like, I was going cross-eyed typing all the, like, 2-2-2-2s. Like... Next month's pattern is going to be a lot simpler. Well, I don't want to say simpler because it does use some advanced techniques, but it's going to be a lot faster because it's just earrings. It's a lot smaller. It's not quite so many parts. So yeah, this row is honestly really easy. It just alternates long rings or long chains and short chains again, and they are gonna be in place over... Actually, I'm gonna have to kind of modify mine because of where I joined. Yeah, so it's just gonna be long chains and short chains, and all of these rings are the same size, so they're just gonna be joined to the base of each ring from row 3. And then you can tell where the long chains and short chains are supposed to be because they're over, like directly over where the long chains and short chains are from row 3. So yes, next month's pattern is going to be so fun. Do we want to do a stitch along for that too? That one can probably be just one day. Mistakes. Where are the pitchforks? Coming after me, Sandra. Just because I can't proofread myself. I think a stitch along for next month's pattern would be a lot simpler than what this month's was, and also probably benefit a lot of people because of that cat over the ring technique. Which I do have a lesson on, but, you know, sometimes it's helpful to see things. Yeah, Sarah, that was exactly my hope, was that doing these stitch-alongs would give people more confidence to actually, like, try the pattern. Okay, but Sandra, they're just a pair of earrings, so, like, it'll be really fast. It'd be, like, a complete it in one stream session kind of project. So it probably honestly would have been better to start doing stitch-alongs with a shorter project. Yeah, and to keep people accountable, that too, to like just, you know, give you a reason to make yourself finish it, especially with a bigger project. Yeah, I totally feel that, Darastrix, absolutely. Knowing your cats, Sandra. Say what you mean. Knowing your cats, you won't get much tatting done. I'm still not quite adjusted to this larger shuttle. Can't type and tat. That's fair. Darastrix, no. I mean, as long as it's large enough to have those 14 stitches fit in a fairly I don't want to say, but like less curved area. Like you don't want the ring to be so small that the stitches go all the way around. But other than that, it really doesn't matter. Oh, that's interesting, Sarah, that you can actually put it on your TV. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think there is a little bit of a lag sometimes. Yeah, Dare Strix, if you have rings and like earring wires or earring posts already, like of course you can improvise with whatever you have on hand. I'm gonna have the kits with the hammered rings and the Duchess earring posts because that's what the pattern was named after. I made that pattern specifically to go with those elements. I'm gonna have kits for those in gold, silver, and copper. And the elements from TierraCast, if it's like whatever, like the gold and the silver are actually like real gold and real sterling silver plate. So they're not solid gold, but they're actually gold plate. And the posts themselves on the ear wires are titanium. So they're just like really, I like them because they're really good quality. Oh, Magpie, that's exciting, yes. That will be really fun. Yeah, I would say anywhere between like, probably at least an inch, maybe 0.75, but I'm not real sure on that. That one might be a little too small. But like an inch to an inch and a half, anywhere kind of around there is probably going to get you really close to the same look. 0.75, it might still be workable, but it might just look a little bit different. Yeah, if we're going to do a stitch along for March's pattern, I will definitely give y'all more time to get supplies gathered and stuff. Because, like I said, it'll probably just be one stream, so... Actually, I mean, would y'all prefer that we do stitch-alongs, like, the month after the pattern club, like, pattern? Because that way people who aren't part of the pattern club but just want to buy the pattern would be able to participate. Like, would that be better? So, like, meaning we would do March's pattern in April as a stitch-along. Yeah, Dare Strix, things like that don't affect tatting quite as much. Like, it can, but you can still make it work. Yeah, I would still be streaming on Sundays, Magpie. I think Sundays work the best for me, personally. With, like, just my schedule and what's going on in our lives. Yeah, because I've definitely had some people ask about, like, how to get this pattern. And I'm like, I don't want it to feel like I'm trying to force people to sign up for the pattern club if they don't want to, just to get it. You know what I mean? Like, I still think it's a better deal, but also I understand some people would much rather just have, like, a one-time purchase thing. So maybe that's what we'll do. from now on, and so our next stitch along won't be until April, and that'll give y'all plenty of time to kind of get prepared ahead of time. Remind you that you have live paintbrushes in your bun. That, I mean, it's a handy place to store them, but I don't know if that's really a good choice. But that's where they are in the future when you forget your paintbrushes. They're in your bun. I've also totally done that when I still had enough hair for a bun. Ooh, Darastrix, that's a good idea. Whoops, I did too many. What pattern? Okay, if we're gonna do a different pattern, like one of the $3 patterns, and I could, honestly, I could rework that file really quick and like put it up for sale individually for people who want to participate still. If we were gonna do a different pattern, one of my older patterns for a stitch along, what should we do? I mean, I would probably still stream on Sundays, maybe not every Sunday, but like I try to be pretty regular about it. So I would still be on stream. I would just be doing other things. But if y'all wanted to do a stitch along for one of my older patterns, we could absolutely do that. Bobble. You know, I have seen a lot of questions and a lot of people struggling with that like final join on Bobble. So that would actually be a really good one. 12Love, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you follow me on YouTube. Yes. I'm working really hard to try to like update a lot of my YouTube content and put a lot more effort in there. So thank you for the support over there. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so if we did Bobble, would y'all want to do it, yeah, anything that has that sort of like circular, especially with those inward facing chains, because I feel like that's what people struggle with a lot, is those inward facing chains. So if we do Bobble, should I kind of rework the pattern and turn it into something? Because a lot of those $3 patterns are just, they're just like, here's the piece, do what you want with it. So like, should we turn it into something? Jazz it up a little bit, kind of like refresh the pattern. We could throw some beads on it. They would make good earrings or necklaces. It'd actually be like a good like pendant necklace with some beads on it. I mean, anything can be an earring, yeah. Yeah, maybe we should do a beaded version. Yeah, absolutely, you can sew them onto stuff, like patches. Yep, that works really good too. Ooh, you know what? I bet the shape of that would work really well for that pointed collar, the Dicky collar that I made. That's got the super sharp points on it that I really wanted to add tatting to. I bet the shape of that would work really, really well for that. Maybe I will use Bobble to make some collar points. Yeah. I do not have anything with shamrocks. I don't do like, I'm trying to think of like a good word for it, but like pieces that are, I guess, like try to make a picture, like to design a picture out of tatting. I don't do that kind of design work very often. A collar tutorial, like, I've had some people ask for like a basic ring collar. whether you're wearing it for BDSM purposes or not. Like, those are always really popular. Oh, like a for a dicky collar. Yeah, so I used a sewing pattern from an Etsy shop that I found, and I am more than happy to share that pattern. Yeah, symbols and shapes kind of thing. Like, it's just not. Doran, don't apologize. Like, that's a really vague word. Like, so, like, trying to determine what somebody means when they say collar can, like, mean a lot of things, so. Yeah, and the other thing with a lot of those, like, symbols and shapes patterns, especially the really simple ones, is that there are a lot of other, tatted pattern makers that focus on those kinds of patterns and have a lot of those available already. So I feel like me trying to make one, and they're really, really simple shapes, so like there's only so many ways you can do them to begin with. Yeah, and like I do motifs, but not like in a pictograph way, I guess. So I'm like, it's just not really my specialty. It's not really what I focus on, and I feel like you could give that attention to other people who do focus on that. You know what I mean? I think like snowflakes are really about the closest thing I've ever gotten to doing like pictograph tatting. I don't know what to call it, but like it is a very popular kind of thing to do with tatting, and it's just not really my speed. It's just not my thing. I keep doing 4 instead of 3. Dang it. See, Sarah, that's what happens when you do the same thing over and over and over. That's called practicing. And then you get really good at it. Oh, Darastix, your birthday is on St. Patrick's, huh? My daughter's birthday is very close to that. So I can see how you'd be biased. Snowflakes do make really good, like, presents for those people that you're just really not sure, like, what to give them, or, like, and you just want to do something small and simple. That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad that that pattern has been so fun for a lot of people. I would love to do more free patterns, but they just... I put so much work into my patterns, and, like... I don't know, like, I just don't have the time to do free patterns all that often. I try to do at least one a year. Yeah, and I know y'all don't mind paying for patterns, like, that's not really, like, I like to give free patterns because I feel like it gives people who aren't familiar with my pattern writing style a chance to kind of, you know, try one of my patterns and make sure that my style of writing works for them, and, like, that they like my patterns. But also just because y'all give me a lot of support, and I like to give freebies as a show of appreciation. Sarah, that's a really interesting question. So there are definitely ways to do it, and essentially you would just treat each color as if you are adding new thread. So whatever methods you like to use to work in new thread, you would just do that repeatedly with each color. But the more frequently you change colors and have that new thread added in, the more weak points there's going to be in the piece. So I would say if you were wanting to do something with like a different color on each point, it would actually be a lot easier to tat them in completely white thread and then just dye it afterwards. And I've actually done several projects with dye, and the cotton always takes the dye really well. Yeah, Sarah, my pattern style and just like the level of detail that I go through to put patterns together has definitely evolved. And I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to, you know, kind of grow and learn in that from y'all constantly asking me for more patterns. It's really nice to be appreciated. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I really think that dye would get you a better result for what you're looking for. And then you have a lot more control over like where the colors actually go. Sandra, you could do it like that. Absolutely, you could. With using the 3 shuttle technique like we did here, there's a lot of applications for that kind of technique. But I think for doing what Sarah is talking about with wanting to do each section a different color, like each point a different color, I don't know that would really get the same results. But the star from the celestial patterns that I'm still working on is modular. So if you wanted to do a modular pattern, like it's totally possible, and that then you would be able to do those color changes more in the way that you want to. Yeah, it would, if you carry more than like 2 threads through the core, you end up with something called padded tatting, and it can be really neat as like a design element. Like you'll find some vintage and antique patterns that use that intentionally to create these like really thick rings or really thick chains, but it's definitely visible. Do they still have the groups app where it's like you can, there's like a Facebook groups app where it's not all of Facebook, it's literally just the groups, or did they discontinue that? I mean, like you could totally create like a burner account just to join the group. Just make sure that you put a note when you go to join who you are. Because otherwise my mods might see that you're like a nobody brand new account and deny you. Just make sure we know who you are. You think it's a tab now? I know they used to have like a completely separate app where you could like download the groups app and it was like just the groups. And like you could have the groups app without actually having like the Facebook app. But I don't know if they still have it. The group name is Get Naughty Make Lace, and actually if you go to my business page, which is Sparrow Spite, you'll find a link right to it under the groups tab. Because it's linked to my business page. Oh, hey. So, I ordered those notebooks I was talking about. I ordered samples of those, and I have 2 of them. Would y'all like to see them? As like a little advanced preview. Yeah, so I ordered 3 different designs, and of course the one that I was like the most excited about did not come yet. But I have 2 of the other ones. Like, let me finish this section here, and then I will get them out and show you. Okay, so these are, they are 8.5, or yeah, 8.5 by 5.5, I think. They're half page size. So these are the 2 that I got already. So we have one that has a realistic photograph of Jubilee on the front and back. And they're spiral bound. You can see they're a little bit floppy, which is okay. I was expecting more of a hardcover, but this is fine. Like, the quality is still pretty good. And they are dot grid lined. So the paper quality is honestly really nice. Like, it's a good thick paper. And then, so we have the Jubilee, and then we have the Motivated by Spite, finally. I know y'all have been asking for this one. So also, like, dot grid was the only option, so that's what we got. And this one is just black with my logo at the back. They have, like, paper dust all over them. And these are a matte finish. They have that, like, satin matte finish. So the third one that I'm waiting for, do you remember the reflections or reflect pattern? That's a little square motif. So it is a graphically drawn version of that pattern in like a repeating pattern. And I can't reach my little sample of it that's over on my dresser. Yeah. So it's really cool because it's also still the dark black gray background. I think it's actually the same color as this one, which is like it's like a matte black color, and then it's the lighter gray, this lighter gray color with that tatted, graphically drawn tatted pattern, completely covering the front and back. Yeah, it's very exciting. And I also ordered a new all-over print tote bag with the same pattern, so we'll see how that looks. So, new merch headed to the website very soon. And I also ordered one other thing that I'm probably not going to be putting up on the website, but I thought was really freaking cool, and so I just bought one for myself. And I'll post pictures of that when it gets here. So ready. Yeah, I don't know when the other samples are supposed to be here. Probably this coming week, because they've already shipped. The service I use is a print on demand, so if you order merch through my website, it ships separately. But that's a lot easier for me because then I don't have to worry about like keeping stock of those things, and I can just, because I don't sell a whole lot of merch. So like that way it's not just like sitting in piles around my house. But yeah, I was really happy with the print quality on these, especially that photograph one. I was a little unsure how that was gonna turn out, but it turned out pretty good. Yeah, it was one of the Patreon patterns, yes. Oh no! Paintbrush shedding is the worst! No, do not like. What are you painting, Magpie? If you said already, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I know. Patreon is really bad with, like, post, like, organization. Like, that's the one complaint I really have. But supposedly, according to their creator, like, newsletter updates they've sent out for this year, supposedly they're working on fixing that and making some changes, but I don't know when we'll actually see those changes go into effect. But that's why I have the index that has all the links to all the posts. Ethereal fantasy landscape. That sounds fun. Yeah, literally my website is the easiest way to find it. Like, to even find the index. Aaron C. Potter. I will definitely check them out. Thank you for that. Oh no, not disappointing pickles. Oh, that's so sad. I hope it was just like a fluke thing and not like they changed something entirely. I ran out of pickles this week and I didn't have pickles for like half the week. I finally got some at the grocery store today though. Yeah, we'll see, Sandra, because the ones that I buy are refrigerated. And I know they're pickles, but I'm always like a little bit paranoid that I'm not gonna like finish a jar before the next one goes bad. I don't know. I know that's not how pickles work, but like... Ooh, a restaurant with the crunchiest pickles. That sounds like a very good place. What does what mean? So, like, because y'all ever have that thing where, like, one day your safe food is not safe anymore? Yes, the pickles that I buy are refrigerated. They are cold packed. They are not heat packed. So, literally from the factory, they stay cold the entire time. They are being bottled and preserved and everything. So, like, when you buy them, they're in the refrigerated section. I don't know. I've never looked. I've never looked to see how long it says they're good for. But, like, I don't know. I have that thing where, like, I will have a food that's a safe food that I will eat constantly all of the time. And then one day it's not safe anymore and I can't eat it. So, like, I'm always a little bit worried that if I, like, stock up on something, it's gonna, like, trigger my brain to be like, nope, we can't eat that anymore. Yeah, so the advantage to the cold packed pickles is that they are super, super crunchy. They are never, ever soggy because they don't get heated. And the heat is what makes pickles soggy. And I mean, like, they're still, like, super vinegary and stuff, so it's not like they're likely to go bad, but... Yeah, exactly, Sandra. Like, if I stock up, I'm not gonna want it. Mmm, yum. I want to go to a restaurant that just brings me pickles. What the heck? Yeah, pickles are one of those things that, like, definitely last forever, but, like, I don't know. It's just a brain thing, I guess. Ooh, yum. We don't have very many ethnic restaurants here, which is sad because there's some good food out there in the world. Oh yeah, Sarah, like, there are so many levels of, like, it's a brain thing for me. Like, that is completely 100% a valid reason, like, and that's enough. Like, you don't have to justify it past that. Literally for anything, not just food. Like, if you just tell me, yeah, it's a brain thing, I can't do that, like, I will completely understand. Pasta with ketchup? No thank you. Like, good for you, but no thank you. Mine is usually popcorn, apple slices, and extra sharp cheddar cheese, but like the cheap brand version, and pickles. Like, that's my safety meal. Canned tomato soup on there? No, Sandra, my safe meal, you want to know what my safe meal is? Is that what you want me to repeat? Yeah, so, like, my go-to safety meal, if I can't eat anything else, is stovetop made popcorn, like homemade popcorn with butter. Apple slices, but specifically Honeycrisp apples. Sometimes Gala apples, but usually Honeycrisp. Extra sharp cheddar cheese, but it has to be like the Kroger brand is what I get. Like, not the fancy shit, the, like, cheap shit. And then my pickles, which I usually get Clausen's brand pickles. And it's like, if it's not those versions specifically, then it's not the same. Hello, Swamp Angel. We're talking about food again, because that is always what we end up talking about somehow. No, not all like on a plate together, but, like, not mixed together. And then, like, I have to eat it in a certain order. Like, I can't eat an apple and then take a bite of a pickle. Like, that doesn't work. Like, it has to go in the, like, I have to take bites of things in the right order. No, you're right, Doran. I don't have to defend having a preference for brands. But, like, those are my particulars of, like, what is always safe. There's always a correct order. Yes. Yes. Exactly, Sandra. Exactly. Like, if you take a bite of food in the wrong order, then it tastes weird. I can't handle that. Apparently that's not, like, normal for most people, though. I don't know. Like, I don't understand that, though, because, like, apparently that's very much, like, a neurodivergent thing to, like, have to eat stuff in the right order. But, like, how do you not taste that? Like, I don't understand. I just, like, I get it being, like, a neurodiverse thing to have, like, specific food preferences to that degree, but also, like, how do you not taste when things, like, if you take a bite of something in the wrong order, how does it not taste weird? Oh, I need to make more Rice Krispies. I ate that whole pan in, like, 2 days. Like, I need more Rice Krispies. Yeah, Doran, so I've gone, like, my whole life without an official diagnosis. And even now, like, my diagnosis is basically, like, I took a bunch of self-assessment tests that are, like, the official self-assessment tests, not, like, the BuzzFeed quizzes or something, and showed them to both my doctor and my therapist, and both of them were like, yeah, that's okay. I'm just like, yeah, thanks. Butterscotch chips for the Rice Krispies? That sounds delicious. I wonder if I can get dairy-free butterscotch. I don't know if they make that. Oh, Sandra, I used to do that all the time when I was a kid. Like, I don't do it as much now, but I also don't eat, like, candy bars ever. But, like, the, which one was it? What the fuck are they called? I forgot what they're called. The fluffy ones. Do you know what I'm talking about? My brain just, like, completely yeeted the name of that candy bar out of my head. So, Doran, my issue is with the milk protein, not with the lactose. So, yeah, that makes it harder to solve. Not the Milky Way, but the one that's, like, entirely, like, the fluffy. Oh, yeah, is it different? I don't know. Milky Ways here have, like, caramel and stuff in them. But the candy bars that are just, like, the fluffy nougat, and nugget. What even is my brain? So, like, the candy bars that are just the fluffy nougat and then chocolate covered. I don't remember what they're called here. But those ones, I used to pick the chocolate off the outside all the time and then eat the inside. Like, I couldn't eat it any other way because then it didn't taste right. Those are Mars bars. Interesting. Fluffy nougat should go on the next round of merch with no explanation. That would be hilarious. I really do need to do something with gummy bears, though. Like, I really should put up something with gummy bears, because y'all know how it always comes back to gummy bears. That's gonna bother me until I remember the freaking name of those things. Musketeers! Yes! The Three Musketeers candy bars. Those ones. Thank you, Sarah. Good lord. What is wrong with my brain? But yeah, those ones. I used to love those because I could pick them apart. Like, really easily. What is an American Mars bar? We have Mars bars here, don't we? I don't know, do we? I haven't eaten, like, an actual candy bar in probably more than 5 years, so I really don't... I can't say that I remember. Do we have Mars bars in the US? Okay, so your Milky Way is the same as our Three Musketeers. That makes more sense. We have deep fried everything here in the US, Imril. Magpie. That's kind of fun, though. Start a candy shop. Why not? Candy and crafts. That actually sounds like a thing. That sounds like it could be a thing. Yes, gummy candy maker. So like you can make gummy candies just with like a mold and like a candy thermometer and like gelatin and stuff, because I totally looked into making my own gummy bears at one point. Mars Bars was discontinued in the US in 2002? Interesting. But I'm betting you can probably still find them at places that do, like, imported candy. So that's probably why we can still, like, occasionally get them here. But they look like your Snickers. That's interesting. It's just so strange, like how many things are called something the same, but they're not the same. Like, yeah, Snickers here have peanuts. I don't know. Now I'm getting confused on what candy bars have what ingredients. We need a candy bar, worldwide candy bar translation guide. Imril, I still don't understand. Like, I understand needing to name them something else because y'all already had Smarties. But, like, with knowing what our Smarties are, like the texture and the flavor, which is basically chalk, I do not understand how they got the name Rockets. Like, where the hell did that come from? That makes no sense. Okay, so the US Three Musketeers bar equals the UK Milky Way. The US Milky Way equals the UK Mars bar. That is so confusing. And the US Sneakers equals the Mars bar plus peanuts. Huh. Okay. All I know is now I want candy. Imrel, I'm sorry. This always happens. Why did they have to, like, make it so confusing? I don't know. Magpie. I told you the brushes were in your hair. So Sarah, with your question, so what you mean is end this. So, like, yes, technically, but I think it's more of a hassle than if you were just going to use... So that technique I did at the beginning of, like, holding the two thread ends together, you can also use that at the end. So, like, if this were my last ring before I started this ring, I could cut this thread off the shuttle and then use that technique to hide this thread end into this ring, and then I would only have to hide or sew in this end. And I think that's a lot simpler than trying to, like, basically the technique you described would be like a split chain, and try to, like, split chain this back. Like, I think it would just be a lot simpler to put it in the ring. Yeah, I think, like, it's not that it's not possible, I just don't know that there's really a whole lot of benefit. And also, when you're hiding ends, if you have the opportunity to hide the end in the full length of the ring, it's going to be a lot more secure, because it's going to go around a tighter curve, so it's going to take more force to pull it out. So I think hiding it in the ring is, like, a little bit more secure too, and also just, like, a lot faster and simpler. You're welcome. Try it out. See how it works for you. Like, the only time that I would maybe not do that is if I was not ending with a ring, but in that case I would use that double back thread method that I use when I end with a chain. And usually when I do that double back method, I still sew that end in just to be, like, extra super secure. But also, like, I don't see sewing ends in as, like, that much of a chore to do. I just do it. Yeah. Learned a lot about the security of your stitches. Like, I definitely go a little bit, like, more in depth and more... I don't know. I'm a little more hardcore about making sure things are, like, really secure than what most people do. And I don't know how much of it's really necessary. It just makes me feel better. Yeah, Sandra, that's the worst. And that's probably one of the reasons that I get, like, really particular about it. Because I'm like, I do not want to have to re-hide this end. It's gonna be, if it's gonna be in there, it's gonna be in there really good. Yeah, I've also had to do that with like the fray check, or you can even use a little bit of Elmer's glue, but then it's gonna have like a hard spot. But yeah, sometimes it just it comes to that. Like, I mean, I do know a lot of like tatters who've been tatting for a really long time who don't even sew their ends in at all. They just tie a knot, put a little fray check or super glue on it, and then cut the ends off. I don't really like that idea for my work in particular, but like, I'm not gonna argue with people who've been doing that for 40 years. So, you know, like, if that's how you want to do it for your work, like, that's, I can't argue and say it doesn't work, because clearly it does work. Yeah, that was kind of my thought, but you know, like, I guess, like I said, if they've been doing it that long and it works for them, I can't say anything about it. Imriel, a post the other day, where the person was like, you probably don't know anyone who tats. See, I hate stuff like that, because it's so not true. Like, there's so many of us out here. So, Sandra, what I was taught growing up, what my grandmother and my great aunt taught me, was 4 to 5 stitch lengths is pretty standard for like how far in to sew your ends, and that's generally good enough. I just go a little extra and go the whole way. Because I feel like, you know, it's one of those things where it doesn't hurt to do more. I don't know, like... Yeah, I do sell my stuff, so like that makes it a little bit more of a concern for me, I guess. But, and I have to say, I've never had anybody like come back to me and say that like something came loose or came apart, or like there's ends hanging out or anything. So like clearly my method works. I don't know that it may be overkill, but I can't argue with the fact that like it doesn't come apart, so there's that. Aw, sleepy Max. I feel it, Max. I'm with you. Even though I'm feeling better after my rest day yesterday, I'm still kind of bleh. Grumpy old man Max. I gotta figure out what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. I haven't cooked for like 3 nights in a row. I should probably make something. Soup! The last thing I made was soup. I made the cauliflower soup. Pancakes? I don't think I have pancakes that I can eat. I think I'm out of my pancake mix. I do think I have some shepherd's pie filling left over. Maybe I'll do that. No, I cannot make it myself. Every time I try to make pancakes from scratch, they don't turn out right. So, like, I gave up. I just use pancake mix. No, literally every time I've ever tried to, like, make pancakes from scratch, like, they just taste awful. Try crepes instead. If I had bread, we'd just do sandwiches, but I don't have bread either. Well, I have bread for everybody else. I don't have bread for myself. Oh, well, what are UK pancakes? What's the difference? Why is everything different? And Japanese pancakes are superior to both. I've never had Japanese pancakes. But I have seen pictures and videos of Japanese pancakes, and I would not argue with you. They do look like they're better. Austrian pancakes are the best. Now we're gonna start a pancake war. Quick, everybody come make me your versions of pancakes and I will judge them to see whose is really the best. Will that work? Oh, only 3 ingredients. Interesting. And you fill them and roll them up? That does sound pretty good. A hybrid style. How does that work? Because, like, US pancakes are, like, fluffy. No, I have not tried almond pancakes. Almonds are one of those things I have to kind of be careful with. So, like, to eat a few almonds is fine, but, like, almond milk or almond flour is too much. Fewer ingredients than American, but fluffier than crepes. Interesting. I guess that would work, yeah. My grandma used to make apple cinnamon flapjacks. And she would cut the apple slices, like apple slices, but they were cut like really, really thin, and she would put them in these little pancakes so that it looked like a flower. Yeah, Sarah, like, pancakes are one of those things where, like, even if you use a mix, like, it sounds like it's low effort, but it's really not. Like, it's so much work. I cheat and use mixes as well, off-brand mixes, because I'm too cheap for Bisquick. And also, like, gluten-free bread is like a whole other thing. Like trying to do gluten-free from scratch is really difficult. So like gluten-free mixes are so much easier. Ooh, Sandra, that sounds yummy. I can imagine. I think that if I had a place like that nearby, I would go there that often too. Mmm, chestnut. That sounds delicious. We don't get a whole lot of things that are like chestnut here. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the only time I've ever really seen anything like with chestnuts has been at the Oktoberfest, like German festival thing they do here, and even that's like there's a vendor usually there that does like the roasted nuts, and like that's it, and they're like not really seasoned or anything. It's just like roasted chestnuts, which they're still good, but oh, Magpie, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, very traditional. Like, very good, but, like, I think that's the only time I've ever seen them here. Yeah, and like where I'm at, we just don't have like street vendors very much. Like that's just not, like we're too far out in the country for that kind of thing. Although apparently there's a taco truck that comes to town like randomly. But from what I heard, the wait to get tacos is like an hour because everybody flocks to it. And I was like, yeah, forget that. But the person who was telling me about it was also telling me how, like, his tacos are, like, ridiculously expensive because it's, like, $12 for 3 of them. And I'm like, that's not that expensive. It's like, okay. I was like, that's pretty cheap for street tacos, I feel like. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between, like, food trucks and food carts. Also, I was like, you know, the food trucks that we do get here for, like, when they bring in vendors for, like, street fairs and stuff are usually, like, really low quality stuff. So I guess I can see how people would be a little taken aback by, like, a proper food truck. Ooh, outside a haunted house? That's funny. Yeah, I don't know, I don't know what kind of tacos he has. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know we had a taco truck come through, usually. I live in the kind of area where it's like, you know, if somebody were to start a restaurant that was literally anything other than pizza or bar food, like literally anything else, you would do really well. But we have like 18 pizza places, and every time a new place opens, it's a new pizza place. I'm like, can y'all like do something else? And, like, yeah, we have, like, a couple of Mexican restaurants, but they're, like, very much Americanized Mexican with, like, very little flavor. So, like, literally anything else. Oh, Dara Strix, that is absolutely what I pictured, is like a little like grocery store cart and like a little like rigged up thing. Like, I completely got what you meant. Yeah, we really need some more versatility here, but then also at the same time this area is extremely racist, so probably would not be really great for anybody to like move here and live here. With that, but it would be nice to have some variety. And of course, if you ask people here, they're like, oh, we're not racist. We're not racist at all. We don't see color. Like, yeah, okay. Just because there's no people of color in the town for you to be racist towards does not mean that you're not racist. Dara Strix, I'm glad you're in a bubble. Yeah. Yeah, very waspy. Yeah, there's a reason that I don't, that I'm always online and don't have anything else to do, because A, there's nowhere else to go, and B, there's nobody here I would actually like to talk to. Or be around. Magpie, that's kind of funny. But, like, a lot of the people here are just, like, they grew up here, they were born here, they were raised here, they've never been anywhere else that was not, like, a tourist vacation where, you know, everything was, like, within the hotel area or whatever. Like, the most culture people here get is, like, if they did a mission trip, which is not it. So, like, a lot of people here are really just very closed off from the rest of the world. So, it's very, I don't know, it's like they've been here for 5 generations and they're gonna continue being here. Like, it's their own little bubble of privilege. And so it's, you know, they've never had that confronted. And they really don't know what the real world is actually like. Oh my gosh, Magpie, no, I hadn't heard anything about that. Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is, like, the general population here is just generally older. actual bears because people didn't clean up their trash. Wow. Wow. I mean, I'm not surprised because, like, you know, libertarian, but alright. But yeah, in some ways it's just that, like, it just makes me sad that people here are so... like, they're just not open to experiencing the world. Sandra, you need to get your gummy bears. Get your gummy bears. I have almost run through my bobbin. Look, see, y'all can see how, like, wavy and bubbled up it looks. So, mine are not perfectly flat when I first get them finished either. Sandra, just pick him up and move him. You need your gummy bears. You can put him back when you sit back down. But your baby. Oh my gosh. Magpie, I'm so glad that your painting is turning out well. Sandra, I'm telling you, he knows that you want gummy bears and he's manipulating you. I swear. He's anti-gummy bear. Where's my thread? There it is. That is kind of unusual for a cat, yeah. So my problem right now is if I don't finish this within the next 15 minutes, because this is the last stitch along, then this piece is probably not gonna get finished unless somebody like yells at me about it to finish it. I have too many projects going. Yeah, take out the claw trimmers. That'll do it, right? Then you can get your gummy bears. So I guess after I finish this, I should actually make the bauble pattern if we're going to do a stitch along for that. Because I haven't made that one in a while. Ooh, yeah, glad you bought the extra ball. For sure. I love that you've like gone through a whole ball on it though. Like, that's awesome. Gone through almost 2 already. What size are you using? Is it the 20 or is it smaller? I think I remember you said we're using 20. 20, yeah. Oh my gosh, it would be huge if you'd use 10. You'd be able to use it like a parasol. It would be a parasol cover. That could be cool, and I may or may not have hardware for a parasol somewhere in a pile. Like, I'm saying that might probably have been a thing I thought of at some point. I don't know that I'll ever actually get to it, but... it would be really cool. Magpie, if you want the information for where I got my hardware from, I think I still have it saved somewhere, like bookmarked. Let me know and I'll send it to you. Because I know you can get, like, you can just get an umbrella and, like, make it from an umbrella, but, like, the place I bought it from, it, like, I don't think I ever even opened the package, but it's supposed to have, like, a wooden handle and, like, the actual parasol frame. Like, it's legit. Like, the old school one. Yeah, try to remind me to send it to you later. Not like I never thought about making parasol, yeah. Yeah, it's a little windy there. I mean, I don't know, a parasol... and you don't really get enough sun for it to, like, be required. It would be cute for pictures, and I think that is a good enough reason, honestly. Just to say you did. Like, that's a good enough reason. Hang it up as decoration. The doily is the last attempt, huh? Alright, that's fair enough. Oh, if you got like a clear plastic umbrella and then like put it underneath, that would be cool. I actually have a clear plastic umbrella, but the shape of it is like a little different. I don't know if it would work as well. Yay, gummy bears! Ooh, sour ones, yum. What's one more massive project, Magpie? Just one more. Extra sour. Are they the Albanese ones? Or are they a different brand? Because the Albanese extra sour ones are freaking awesome. No gummy... What? Sugarland? I don't know those. Those must be like a over there brand. I'm gonna have to send you like a pack of gummy bears if y'all don't have the Albanese bears. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, so the Albanese sour bears not only have like the sour sugar on the outside, but the bears themselves underneath are sour. Yeah, they're so good. I'll have to go pick some up. They're only slightly sour, the ones that you have right now. The ones that are supposed to be extra sour? Because if so, that's kind of disappointing. Boo. Welcome back to Food Talk, Imrel. We're gonna have to put together a care package for Sandra and send some actual sour gummy bears. I'll have to see if I can find the small pack, because the only sour Albanese ones that I've found here are from Walmart, and it's the 5-pound the 5-pound bag. So that may be a little much. That's gonna cost a lot to ship. Mmm, all the gummy bears. Until you want to pay. That sounds about right. So there is there's this store in Cincinnati called Jungle Gems that is like an international food market, but exploded by like 500. They have literally everything. It is so much fun. Yes, I love the chocolate covered gummy bears, but I can't eat them. Nope, not a restaurant chain. It is a grocery store, but it's like huge. It's literally like a grocery store adventure park. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, but they have sections for like each country, and they have a lot of like imported foods and stuff. So like if I went to Jungle Gems, Sandra, I could probably find like all of the candies and stuff that you've talked about. Like in the different sections. and like compare the differences. Next time we go, because we go to Cincinnati a couple times every year, usually, and a lot of times we'll do Jungle Gems like on our way back. We'll like hit that up and then buy like $200 worth of just like random snacks on our way back. So like next time I go, I'll have to take some video for y'all and like post it in the group or something. And, like, they have 2 different locations, but it's actually, like, a local place. It's not a chain. Doran, your dog makes a great background for projects, like, to lay the project on and photograph. That's funny. Ugh. Yeah. What are you taking pictures of? Are you gonna post them in the group? You should. Seems like everybody's animals are sleepy today. Your isolation earrings? Yes, please post them. Oh, it's 11 p.m. Okay, I guess that makes more sense. I always forget about time zones. I'm really bad about that. I'm sorry, y'all. Time was created by clock companies to sell more clocks. That feels true. That feels true. It's 4 o'clock, but I'm almost done. Should I stay on until I get this done, just so that I actually finish it? Really close. And I just know that if I put this down unfinished, it is never gonna finish. Yeah, okay, I'll stay on until I finish. Just to get it done. See, I got 1, 2, and I actually started. I only have 3 more sections. That's not that much. That's not that much. We can do it. We can do this. Speed mode. Aaron found all of the emojis or emotes or whatever the heck they're called. They're so tiny, you can't hardly read them. I'll have to put some other new ones up soon too, I guess. Almost there. One more. Last one. Last ring, last ring. Thank you, Sarah. Twisty. Yes, I will probably put this one up for sale in my shop. With the rest of them, with the rest of the other ones I finished. I really don't keep that much stuff for myself, honestly. Hooray! Yeah, part of it is just that, like, a lot of the stuff that I make doesn't really fit into my personal style, like, with what I wear. So, like, if I'm gonna make something for myself, I have to, like, really plan for it to be something for myself. Whoop. Apparently we're gonna have problems with getting a thread on the needle today. There we go. Maybe I should do a, like, before and after blocking photo of this one. Like, I know I did a kind of before and after in the video that I posted to my YouTube recently, but, like, a better, like, close-up version. Done painting! Hooray! A shop that sells massive bags of apple and peach rings. Yum. Absolutely, I want to see Magpie. Send me an invite to your group, because I don't think I'm in there. Didn't somebody ask a question about stuff getting, like, misshapen when you were sewing ends in? Was that somebody in here? Darastrix, feel free to post a link. Drop a link if you have one. Feel free. That was you. Okay. I just wanted to show you, like, this is what happens to mine as I go along. Like, you can see it's pulling the chain, like, really out of shape, and also kind of, like, pulling the picots kind of out of place. So, yes, that's normal, and then I'll show you what I do to kind of fix it. So I go through the whole chain just because first of all, I think it's more secure, but also, like, it's easier to get the shape back to where it's supposed to be, I feel like. So that was the first two, and now I gotta do the next little last one here. Parallel with the core thread, Darastrix. Like, under the little, like, if the little, like, the legs of the stitch, if you think of it as, like, a pair of pants, like, the legs of the stitch is what I get under. Still can't get under the stitches, huh? I think, too, part of the reason you're having a hard time with it, Sandra, is because you use the size 20. And it's not that it's not possible with the size 20, but I think if you like practiced with the size 10 on getting the right feel for it, it'll make it easier when you go to do it on the size 20. my music ended. That means it's, yep, about 15 minutes past. Well, close to. That's okay, though, because I am almost done. Yeah, you can totally just go into the bumps. Like, that works just as fine, too. Like, go back and forth. Or whip stitch or whatever. Whatever works. I just feel like I get a much cleaner finish if I go underneath. And also, like, my ends don't work themselves loose as easily. So it's not that it's better, it's just better for me. Yeah, I like the double back method a lot. I use that a lot. But also, like, I've had a ton of practice with, like, sewing things in. Because over the years, I've made so many pieces to sell. So, you know, it's just one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. Okay, so as you can see, like, my chain is really kind of misshapen. So what I do is I just kind of, like, pull it back into shape first before cutting any of my ends off. So I'm going to, like, kind of reshape that, and then I'm going to go into each picot and just give it a little tug. And I like to use the pick on this shuttle for that until they kind of pop back out to where they're supposed to be. And just keep adjusting it until it looks right. So, like, you can see that's a big difference. And then that's when I'll cut my tails off. And don't be afraid to, like, really get in there and tug on it, because it's not going to hurt anything. Still had my tails from here earlier. There we go. Ta-da! It is done. You know, it gave it more of like starting it down here instead of here, like starting up here gives it more of like a rounded edge, and this is more of like a flat edge. So honestly, it's kind of cute that way. These are the DMC ones that I have in my shop. I honestly, so like I've had a lot of different brands of like little embroidery scissors, and these have stayed the sharpest the longest. They're not the cheapest, but they're also like, I've been using these for almost maybe 2 years. And like they're still sharp. So it is kind of weird without the background music. I'm sorry. I didn't turn it back on because I'm about to jump off, so yeah, I also have a pair of like really nice Ginger shears, Ginger brand embroidery scissors that I had. They were actually my graduation present for my grandma for a really, really long time, but they need repaired, and I haven't gotten that done yet. Yeah, the unicorn ones are, I think, a similar brand to some of the other cheaper pairs that I've had. So, like, they're cute, but they're not great quality. Like, so, yeah, these are the DMs. I think they're around $10, which is kind of expensive for embroidery scissors. But honestly, like, they have stayed so sharp. And, like, they have nice big, like, I feel like there's a lot of space in the round here, and like they don't hurt my fingers to use. So I really like these ones, but yeah, there's some other brands out there that are good too. Yeah, the cheap ones I find dull really quickly, at least for me. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think this turned out really cute. And so I guess this is our last stitch along for this pattern, but we decided we're gonna do the bauble pattern next month so that we can get kind of like an in between. Ooh, a whetstone, interesting. One of my friends locally has apparently has all the like knife and scissor sharpening equipment, so I should just take him my gingers and like see if he can fix them. They need more than just sharpened though, like they need tightened up and like repaired a little bit, so I don't know if that's within his wheelhouse of skills. Yeah, okay, so I will try to get the replay for this posted by Tuesday instead of like by the end of the week like I did this last time around. I'll try to have it up a little bit faster. Yeah, so it won't be next weekend then for the bauble stitch along. I will try to schedule that out a little bit so that we have a little more time for everybody to get supplies together, and so I can kind of rework that pattern a little bit and make sure that it is gonna be up to snuff with my newer pattern writing skills. And then let's see what else. Oh, the Duchess earring patterns goes up on Tuesday for the Patreon Pattern Club. That's already scheduled and ready to post, so it will be out Tuesday first thing. I will have kits up pretty soon after that. My supplies are supposed to be delivered tomorrow, so as long as they are delivered on time, I should have them up at the same time. Yeah, and then if we're going to do a stitch along for that, we'll schedule that for April. So, lots of fun things coming up. Yes, woohoo! Yeah, I think a rework on the bauble is going to be really fun. That's a great idea. I don't remember who suggested that, but thank you. Whichever one of you it was. Okay. All right, well, I will jump off of here and go find some candy to eat because y'all made me want candy with today's stream. And yeah, I will see you if you're going to join me on Thursday. Hopefully this week, Thursday stream will work out to where we can hang out and have a nice chill stream then. Aaron says he took all the candy. Oh no. I guess I'll have to go buy some more. Alright, y'all have a lovely rest of your evening or day or whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you all next time.